now request Dr. Padam Tomar to welcome our esteemed speaker. Professor Mathur is a mechanical engineering graduate from the University of Roorkee. He has extensive experience in designing, fabricating, assembling and installing large satellite Earth station antennas for various projects. He was involved in the execution of India's largest satellite Earth station project, INSAT Satellite Control Earth Stations, and designed antenna and feed system for various satellite projects. He was designated project manager of INSAT 3A and INSAT 3C spacecraft antenna projects in 1998 and later headed the fabrication and integration sector. In 2000, he became head of the antenna mechanical design division and later became group head and group director of antenna system mechanical group. He has published 50 papers on antenna design and manufacturing and has 2 patents to his credit. Professor Mathur was instrumental in establishing Space Society of Mechanical Engineers in Ahmedabad and held various positions including secretary, vice president and president. He is currently involved in spreading knowledge of space mechanical engineering and sharing his experience with young mechanical engineering students and faculty members.
Hello.
I request Professor Mathur to take the dais.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Let me thank Madam first for a very nice and detailed introduction. Thank you very much. And let me thank Dr. Pandey also for giving me an opportunity to come here and interact with all of you. And I hope you had a very nice session earlier for this FDB program. And today is the last day and last lecture. Got a little bit delayed and it is starting with initial problems of site projector, key system, etc. I think in between if it does not work, I can speak, my voice will go after that. And hopefully you will allow me to speak for about 1 hour? Yes, sir. Is okay? Oh, yes. And what about the language? Hindi, English mix? Mix, okay. लैंग्वेज में ऐसा है, आई स्टडीड इन यूपी बोर्ड I did my 12th from UP board in Hindi medium. In those days we studied physics, chemistry, mathematics, everything in Hindi. Then I was selected in Roorkee. I went there for total English. It was very difficult to pick up English. So in the process, क्या हुआ हिंदी भूल गए, English सीख नहीं पाए. In between, so we'll manage with Hindi and English. Okay. And hope all of you know about ISRO and about the Department of Space activities. Nowadays it is very popular, well known to everybody. Even rickshaw wala sometimes ask question because they have also seen those films. I have not seen, of course, but they ask whether it is really true or not कि फिल्म बनाने में जितना खर्चा आता है उससे कम में हमारा रॉकेट गया होगा. तो वहाँ तक आजकल नॉलेज है. Anyway, hopefully all of you have some knowledge of it. My main aim is for 1 hour I will introduce briefly about the history of ISRO, how it started, what we did initially, and main thing is how the academic people can interact with ISRO for various projects and various grants, and what are the various subjects in which you can do your research. So whatever research you carry out, it should be useful to the country. This is not simply getting a degree. Usually when we do PhD and other things, and we just for the sake of marks, we select some topic and proceed. But ISRO has got plenty of topics where all of you can work in various departments, science, engineering, all branches of engineering. Okay, a little bit I will touch upon that. But ISRO in general has got a lot of space science, you can say a lot of applications for the common man of the country. When we started this space program, it was thought Vikram Sarabhai proposed that thing. But a lot of people, they don't know about the application part of it. And of course there are so much applications. I am not going to cover those applications because it takes around 1.5 hours. So when we take SATCOM application and remote sensing application and all that useful to the common man. So still let's see whatever what we can cover. And hope all of you know what is space. Usually the people who work in Department of Space, they also are not very clear what is space. How we will define space. Okay. I should not ask, but still let me say, ask here also. Can somebody tell me what is space? How we define space? If we are working in Department of Space or we are working in space science and technology, so how we will define it? Any answer from anyone?
The place where there is no massive body.
There is?
There is no massive body.
Okay. So let us say how we can define it now. We are here. Can we say that we are in space right now?
Everywhere there is space.
Okay, that kind of space.
Like
of course,
when we talk about.
of course, that space is everywhere. Okay, we can say it is total Brahman. If you are there, you can say in space. But when we talk about scientifically, okay, now we are on Earth, this planet, we are going to space. So what way we will define it?
We can define as where the mass or object is located here.
But most of the places I say people are not able to tell specifically. But in one of the schools in Bhopal, a class 3 student, she was a girl child from a school. She answered very correctly. She was knowing. Then I asked her, okay, how you know about this answer? Who has told you? Whether your parents or in school? Even the science teacher was there. So she said, no sir, I have learned it from television. I see a lot of shows. In one of the shows it was explained. Okay. So very simple thing is when we go above the earth and our gravity becomes zero, we think we are in space. When the gravity becomes zero, there is no effect of gravity, we are in space. is 100 kilometers roughly, and there is a line, we call it thermal line, and that is around 100 kilometers from here. It is a virtual line. From there, if we reach 100 kilometers from here, we can say we are in space, and you will feel weightlessness. It means you will not come back. If we leave you at 100 kilometers, you will be there. You can't come back. Okay. But the other limit of the space, as on today, nobody knows. Okay. So many satellites NASA has sent and going last 40 years. There is one satellite going deeper and deeper into the space, sending lot of photographs, lot of galaxies. They are found, but still they don't see any limit where it will end. At least maybe the next generation people, they may know about it or may not. Okay. And space environment is totally different. It is not like Earth. Now we are sitting here on this planet. Our temperature varies up to 55 degrees centigrade from -10, or sometime in the shade goes to -50 degrees centigrade also. But in space, when we get extreme temperature -82 plus 250 degrees centigrade. It is after just crossing 100 kilometers. As we go around and above, it will become cold. Okay. Then finally, the satellite which you make, it has to survive under -82 to 50 degrees centigrade. And this temperature also is there. Gradient is very high. It means the bottom side of the satellite will be minus, top side will be plus. That much difference is there in space. So any system which we design for space, it has to survive these temperature limits. Okay, you know 100 degrees centigrade, what happens on Earth? We can't touch 40 degrees centigrade, 50 degrees centigrade, 100 degrees means we will burn. So 250 is very high temperature that way. Same with minus also. So we have to design a system for this temperature limits. And there is a high vacuum in space. At Earth we don't have any vacuum, there is a medium, and we are able to talk. Whatever I am speaking, it is going to you. But in space, if you talk like this, you can't understand anything. The waves will not transfer. Then we have got radiation. Ultraviolet radiation dose is very high. We have UV radiation at ground also. It comes through sunlight. Okay, but when you go to the space, it is pure ultraviolet signal because there is no pollution there. Okay, so directly it comes from sunlight. Then of course zero gravity. Then there is another important property is outgassing. Outgassing is a property of a material. When we take it to a vacuum condition, it starts producing some gas. Like you see the plastic bottle is here, it is not producing right now any gas. But if you keep it in vacuum condition, it will produce some gas. That is the property of the material in vacuum. So outgassing. So any system which we design for space, we have to design for this condition. This is just in brief about the temperature, so we get a feel of it, how it is in space. And people started working in the space late 40s. Or in 1950s, you can say there was a lot of interest among various countries to work into the space. Even Dr. Vikram Sarabhai started working on cosmic rays in 1947 in India. He established the lab in PRL, Ahmedabad. He started working on that in 1940s. And there is one scientist from Sri Lanka, Arthur C. Clarke. He gave a concept that was also again in around 45 or so. He said if we keep 3 satellites, it was all imaginary at that time, in a orbit which is parallel to our synchronous orbit. Okay, so it will cover the total Earth and we can communicate to each other. That was the concept giving long back. And before that, in I think early 90s, there was another fellow. He has written a novel on that. He said, gave this concept that in space, if we keep something at a very height, we can see the total world. Okay, from there it is started. But in 50s, really work started by many countries to use satellite power. So main countries were Russia and America. So they started working, both of these countries, and there was a International Geographical Year celebrations in America, and they were going to discuss about the space, use of space and launching of satellite in that conference. So America was very sure that they will do all that. But suddenly Russia announced, all of a sudden, we are ready with our satellite and we are sending tomorrow. So they were very silently working on that. And this was a very big shock to America that time. How can Russia do it? And they did not disclose anything. And Russia launched first satellite on October 4, 1957. And it was successful. First satellite. Of course, it remained for a very short period. And America also, after a few months, they also launched first satellite because they were also working on that. It means from 1957, a space race started between Russia and America. Both of them started working in that particular field. So the month of October, from 4 to 10, all over the world, it is celebrated as World Space Week. So it was decided by United Nations. So Dr. Sarabhai, hopefully all of you know about Dr. Sarabhai, must have listened his name. He was from Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and his total family is a business family. Most of the Gujaratis are businessmen. So like that Sarabhai family was also a business family. They have got a lot of industries in Ahmedabad and Baroda. He was the only person who became scientist. And he did MSc from Gujarat University. Then he went to USA for doing his masters and PhD. Came back sometime in 1945 or 46 from that time. And he created 5 major institutions. The Indian Institute of Management, all of you know how many branches we have now in country. The first one was started at Ahmedabad by Dr. Sarabhai. And that land was donated by Sarabhai to Indian Institute of Management, even to ISRO. The total land belongs to Dr. Sarabhai. And we call him as the father of India's space program. So in 1961, 57, first satellite went by Russia. Then America sent 62 beginning, 58 beginning. So Sarabhai also thought why we should not use this space technology for our country. It was too early to think, and he could think if we use this satellite in space, we can do a lot of things in our country and for the progress of the country. And even for the commonwealth of the country we can do, which nobody thought. Others, they were considering satellite technology for very technical things. So he approached Government of India, and in 1960 that physical research lab was under Department of Atomic Energy. This history, if you read somewhere, you will not get directly, so I am just giving you introduction about it. Okay. So he submitted a proposal to Homi Bhabha, who was the chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, and that was the only scientific department in the country those days, that we should work in the field of space and we can do a lot of things for our country. Okay. So his attitude was also changing. From scientific research, he was thinking about the common man development. And then he went to Pandit Nehru, discussed with him, and finally this was approved. And it was approved as Indian National Committee on Space Research, 1961. The government finally approved this program. And Sarabhai was made chairman of this. In 1963, we established a rocket launching station near Trivandrum. That is Tumba. It was a very small village, outskirts of Trivandrum. From there we started sending sounding rockets. Rockets we imported from France and by India, small rockets. The first rocket which we launched was on 24th, Rohini. And in 1967, we made a satellite communication station at Ahmedabad. That station still exists in Ahmedabad. It is in working condition. The first satellite earth station in the country. It was made by NEC Japan with the grant of United Nations. Then 1969 formally ISRO was formed under DAE, of course. That time Department of Space was not there. On 15th August it was formed. 72 Department of Space as a government body it was formed. Then 1975 first satellite Aryabhatta was launched by USSR. This satellite was made by us in Bangalore and launched by Russia because we were not having launching capabilities those days. But as on today, we can launch up to 4-ton satellite. We have launched so many satellites of foreign countries today, but that time we were not having that capability. So you can see the first photograph. This was Aryabhatta, which we launched. Then the first satellite right hand side, Rohini, which was launched by our own satellite from Sriharikota. And the left side photograph which you are seeing, it is the church in Tumba. And when we started rocket launching from that place, there was no storing place near the sea. So only this church was there. So Sarabhai went to the church, requested them that you give us a space to store our rocket components. Okay, so they agreed and our rocket components were stored. Slowly this church was converted into a big space museum. If you go to Trivandrum or Tumba, you can see this. And later on a new place was granted to church. So they wait separately. And this photograph right hand side you can see it is very popular. It is on internet. Many times it has come on WhatsApp. How we used to carry our rocket components on bicycles. Of course, rockets were also small. Our major activities are design and development of spacecraft, launchers, spaceports, then assembly, integration, testing, operation and control, then most important is applications. Now suppose a satellite when we put in orbit, it will move on in the orbit, but what is the use, what is the benefit we are getting out of that? So that was the thing which Sarabhai thought, a lot of societal application should be there, then only we should send a satellite. And also today there are thousands of applications all over the world people are using, but they don't know. One of the example is the mobile which all of you are carrying in your pocket is used on satellite technology. ISRO has got various centers. Luar Rao Satellite Center, where we make our satellites. Then Vikram Sarabhai Center at Trivandrum, where we make rockets. The Space Application Center, where we make all satellite payloads and application part of it. Then Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota, that is our launch pad, from where we send our all satellites, rockets. Then National Remote Sensing, where we do all remote sensing application and research. Then IPRC is for the fuels. This is a new center where we are developing rocket fuels. Then latest one is HSFC, Human Space Flight Center, because we like to send Gaganyaan. And our Pradhan Mantri is after us. It should go at the earliest. It is not easy to send an astronaut to space. It is easy. Sending astronaut is very easy, but bringing him back to Earth alive, that is very difficult. Right? So lot of experiments, money is required, which of course we don't have, but we are working on that. ISRO has got two public sector companies, Antariksha Corporation and New Space India Limited. We make different kinds of satellites. geostationary satellite must be reading in the newspaper, INSAT, GSAT, ILS series of satellites. Then we make Earth observation satellite. They are also called as low Earth orbit satellites like IRS, Cartosat, OceanSat. Then we make satellites for space mission for the scientists for research. That is Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan and Gaganyaan. Okay, we have sent Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3. Okay, so what we are getting out of that, or what you are getting out of that? Chandrayaan 3, are you getting any benefit? Direct benefit? No. It is only for research purpose. Okay, these are scientific satellites. Then we also have experimental satellite or small satellite. At least 12 satellites we have sent. These satellites are made by the academic institutions, all the students and faculty of various institutes in the country. So these satellites are made by the academic institute, launched by ISRO. So in future you can also think of sending one satellite, Galgodia satellite or something like that. Many small universities, they have already sent. For that you have to make a team, start working on that. Okay, just to show you how a remote sensing satellite looks. This is actual photograph of a remote sensing satellite. It is around 900 kg, and we send it to a lower orbit that is around 600, 700, 800 kilometers from Earth. The purpose of this satellite is to take photographs. They rotate continuously. After every 1 hour, they will complete one round of the Earth and will take photographs. Earth is also moving, satellite is also moving. So every rotation it will take different photograph, not the same place. Okay. So you can see in this photograph some yellow color film. Okay. So what is this? Can somebody answer what is this yellow color film?
Thermal insulators, I think.
Thermal insulation. Okay. Any other answer? It looks like a gold. Golden color. It is gold. Any other answer? No. But usually people say this is gold, but this is not gold. What you said is correct. It is thermal insulation basically, or thermal blanket. We cover our satellite to protect it from the temperature limits what I said initially. So it will protect our satellite. We also use blankets in winter. So this is a blanket for satellite. This is basically multi-layer insulation made of 5 different layers. One layer is Kapton polyimide sheet, and that gives golden color. This golden color is because of that polyimide sheet, Kapton. These are communication satellites, much larger than remote sensing satellites. They are more than 2 tons in weight, and they use for satellite communication. We launch these satellites in 36,000 kilometer orbit. Okay, here also that same film used, but here you can see the antennas also in white color. Okay, because the temperature is very high, so we have painted in white paint. These are some of the scientific satellites. You can see Aditya and Chandrayaan. These are our rockets. You can see when we started the first rocket, KSLV, sometime in 1980s. Okay, we were able to send around 40 kg of payload, 40 kg of satellite. But now the last one is GSLV Mark III, the most powerful rocket which we have now. We can send 4,000 kg, 4 tons, from 40 kg to 4,000 tons. So that is the progress in 50 years in rocket technology. Actually, now we are using our own cryogenic engines. PSLV is the most successful rocket frequency of the world. Hardly out of 100, one failure. Mostly PSLV launches are very successful. So So we are getting lot of orders from other countries to launch their satellites using this. First is cost is also less, second is reliability is more. So we can launch up to 1 ton, 1.2 ton weight with the help of this rocket. This is GSLV Mark III, and this is the cryogenic engine which we are using in our GSLV Mark III. And this is the actual model of the engine we have kept at our Ahmedabad Space Center for the public, so they can feel it, how it looks, how complicated it is. It is 1:1 scale, actual model. And some of the ISRO's missions, most important is NISAR, NASA India Synthetic Aperture Radar. So people say long back, we used to collaborate with America for many projects. Even America refused, so we took help of Russia. Now America is approaching us. It has become reverse. NISR, NASA is coming to us. They are bringing their payload, assembling with our satellite to launch it. It is a synthetic aperture radar. So we have got lot of deep space mission, then space station 2035, then Gaganyaan 2024. That was the target, but it is delayed. So a lot of experiments are still left out. We are also making a small satellite launch vehicle where we want to launch small, and this technology we are giving to many private companies or the private entrepreneurs, the young engineers who are coming forward. So this technology can be given by ISRO to these people. They can launch a small satellite and run their company. Then we are making air breathing rockets. We are making Pushpak reusable launch vehicles. You can see the photographs. Total development plan is for 15 years. Okay. Already many tests we have done recently. There are a lot of important ground system, and not for only for mechanical people, for civil, for electronics. I'll cover all those things. Just made a list. If anybody needs, I can give this PowerPoint slide also. So there are a lot of system ground base where you can work. Here you can see this is a thermowave chamber we have got in India at Bangalore and at Ahmedabad, where the total satellite after assembly we test it. What test? -82 plus 250 degrees centigrade temperature the satellite should survive. So in this thermowave chamber we change these limits. First it will be very very cold, then we will change the temperature to plus 250 degrees centigrade, and with this we will create vacuum also in this. Because the satellite has to work in the vacuum condition. So we will create vacuum, that is what we call it thermowave test chamber. So under vacuum condition its satellite should perform. So this is a test of around 30 days, 1 month it takes. Okay. So we have got these two facilities at Ahmedabad and very costly facility and Bangalore. Then this is a vibration test facility. You know, when we send a satellite into space, it is mounted in a rocket, and the rocket fuel, when rocket goes up, there are a lot of vibrations, lot of noise, lot of heat is there. So how to take care of this vibration? When we go in UPSRTC buses, you must have seen if there are vibration, our chairs are loose, what happens? We feel very uncomfortable. Even sometimes TV also will fall down. Why? Because of vibration, nuts and bolts got loose. So we do each and every test, 100% test. All satellites are tested for vibration. And these vibration machines are very very costly. We have got Ahmedabad, Trivandrum and Bangalore. And you can see the antenna feed system, antennas and total electronic system in the right hand side figure. Now you can see. So we will see whether how these wires are mounted, how nuts and bolts are mounted. Nothing should come out in the vibration. This is antenna antenna assembly, when we test it, there is a air conditioned chamber and there is a foundation, we call it 24 into 7 is AC system runs and it is earthquake proof because when we test our antenna system, no earthquake should be there. So it will test under that condition. And the AC is 24 hours maintained and this is RF test. We send signals to the antenna and we see what is the gain of the antenna, how it is performing. Okay. For electronics engineers, the antenna performance, radiation, its G by D is important. For mechanical people, its fixture design is important. And this everything is tested under 0G condition. So whatever we test, whatever we design under gravity, but we like to make gravity as 0. Then system should perform. Otherwise it will not work in space. Now again you can see how indoor test range of the antennas. This again big facility at Ahmedabad. And right hand side it is a 1975 photograph. That time we were not having these kind of antenna test range with us. So we wanted our antenna to be tested on some system where there is no metal. Actually when the electronic signal when we test, it reflects those signals with the metal structure. So finally somebody suggested make a Bullock cart of wood without any metal. On that we kept our satellite and tested. So from there we started, now we have got automatic test range at Ahmedabad. So this photograph you can see our first satellite communication earth station which we established at Ahmedabad 1965-67 time. Still it is working, 14-meter diameter. Now as on today we have made 100 such stations in the country. That time we were not involved in this, we were not knowing anything about it. But now the total technology we know and we can make all mechanical, electrical, electronics, civil work, we can do independently. The right hand side which you can see, it is India's first OB-WAN. OB-WAN nowadays, very popular, you know OB-WAN? All these press reporters, they carry, but the total technology has become very, very compact. Antenna size, electronics, everything. So it is a Tata truck chassis on which we made a 6.1 meter antenna, okay, for using OB-WAN. Now antenna size has reduced to 0.7, 0.8 meter size in place of 6.5 because the electronics also has improved. Amplifiers, okay, and this truck chassis not required. You have got beautiful LCVs nowadays, beautiful small vehicles on which you can carry to this station. So this particular OB-WAN, it went to Pakistan to relay cricket test match, which was witnessed by our Pradhan Mantri those days, by Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Deputy Prime Minister Lal Krishna Advani. They went to Pakistan, and that cricket test match was, I think, between India and Pakistan was after 17 years. After 71 war, I think it was stopped and then they started. So this weight was sent. Now handling of the satellite is also very important. We carry very special containers. We design special containers, shock-proof containers. We should have air-conditioned atmosphere so that our electronics is there. All electronic subsystem will have to maintain temperature. Okay. So special containers have been designed by ISRO, and we carry in special aircrafts for launching. Now rockets are built in Trivandrum. पाटिल जी जरा टाइम बताइएगा कितना है, ठीक है ना? तो transferring launching part is very difficult because these rockets are very big in size and we make in Trivandrum, and from Trivandrum to Sriharikota it is, I think, more than 700 kilometer distance. And how to carry these rocket parts? Roads are not that wide, so we have made special